Hello guys, welcome back to Rational Vids. I know it's been a while since I posted, been a lot of shit going on in my life, but I'm coming back to you now to report on this wild shit that's been going on with the Alex Jones trial. Holy fucking shit. If I've ever seen somebody shoot themselves in the foot more than 3 times, it'd definitely be Alex Jones. This shit is wild. So for those of you who don't know the background on this case, Alex Jones went to take the stand for his own defense in civil court because he's already been found guilty of defamation by lying about the parents of the victims of the Sandy Hook shooting back in 2013 or 2012, whenever it took place. But he lied about the parents, lied about their character, and back in the day made up conspiracy theories that it was like a false flag attack. You remember all of that, right? So Alex Jones has now been found guilty of defamation, so he's in civil court not to dispute whether he is guilty or not, but to dispute how much he has to pay them. And the judge has actually already made a sentence. If you didn't hear, he has to pay apparently more than $4 million to these parents. He got fucked. He got played. He got his ass bamboozled in court. So so he decided to take the stand in his own defense, and it's just, but this shit goes off the rails super fast, by the way. So let's watch.
Straight ahead on Law and Crime Daily.
I wish every single day that this was a nightmare that I could just wake up from.
Heartfelt victim impact statements are presented in the Parkland school shooter penalty phase trial. And Dante Wright's girlfriend files suit against Kim Potter for emotional and physical damage.
Have you had long-term impacts from that broken jaw or the injuries that you suffered?
Yeah.
Plus, Kristen Smart's college roommate takes the stand.
All right, where we get to Alex Jones.
Are tried for her murder. But first,
How are you feeling today, Al?
I actually feel good because I get a chance to, for the first time, say what's really going on instead of the corporate media and high-powered law firms manipulating what I actually did.
conspiracy theory broadcaster Alex Jones takes the stand in the Sandy Hook defamation civil trial. Law and Crime Daily, covering court cases from coast to coast. Welcome, everybody, to Law and Crime Daily. I'm Jesse Weber in for Brian Buckmeyer. The defense rests shortly after InfoWars hosted a civil trial in Texas as the all a hoax and staged with government actors in order to push gunmen. Connecticut found Jones liable for defamation, entering default judgments against him, saying he ignored several.
I didn't want news headlines. I just wanted the footage. Come on.
Tuesday and Wednesday. During cross-examination, Jones was asked about his comments about the shooting and other incidents being fake.
Talking Boston bombing. Telling the world, fake, not real. A Department of Homeland Security drill. Right?
There was a drill. I think real people got bombed. We've asked questions on both sides here.
Yeah, you said the exact opposite. You in fact said that some of those people were claiming.
So the attorney, apparently the prosecuting attorney here, is asking Jones about, some of the stories he's reported on in the past with InfoWars, the very credible theories that he is put out there, such as this one they're just covering right now covers the Boston bombings, which was horrible, but which was a terrorist attack on the Boston Marathon back in 2013. But like with the Sandy Hook shooting, he thought it was a government cover-up. It was staged. It was blah, blah, blah. It was a drill, blah, blah, blah. It's all these bullshit conspiracy theories that he pushed out over the years and trying to, and most people, you'd think that most people wouldn't believe the shit he has to say. And it's true, most people don't. But some people with such as the QAnoners or the people on the far right, they do legitimately believe the things he has to say. They think some of these people think that Sandy Hook and the Boston Marathon bombings were actually staged. They were drills. They were cover-ups. They were blah, 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 blah. And for various different reasons for various different political agendas. That's the kind of theories they purport and they spout out.
The injured were crisis actors in other tragedies, just like in San Diego. You said.
We reported on other people saying that.
And in fact, you said about some of the people at Sandy Hook during your coverage of Sandy Hook, you have said they were actually some of the people pretending to be injured in Boston. You said that.
I don't remember that.
You remember the shooting in Parkland, Florida in 2018?
Yes.
And you called a bunch of people crisis actors there. You said crisis actors were used in Parkland, Florida. Right?
No, I didn't. I said they had the film, the drama club, then go do interviews about it because they had skills to present themselves.
Do you remember saying that part?
That's even okay. That theory is even worse. Like, not just that the Parkland shootings were fake, but that the drama students were in on this shit. That they got the drama students to lie that their classmates were killed. To lie about the impact that it had on them emotionally and physically. That's ridiculous. That not only is that ridiculous, that's insulting. So Alex Jones should be ashamed for doing that kind of shit.
That was a false flag engineered to start a civil war.
I said it could. I mean, I believe it could be.
You would agree with me that every single mass tragedy, mass shooting, mass bombing that you can recall right now in the past 15 years, you have attached the words false flag to it. Yes or no?
No.
At the end of the day, Tuesday, there were some pretty tense moments with the judge and also after she left the bench.
You may not say to this jury that you complied with discovery.
Because he didn't comply with any of the discovery. He resisted almost every attempt at discovery.
That is not true. You may not say it again. You may not tell this jury that you are bankrupt. That is also not true.
I believe what I said was true. So
Yes.
Yeah, apparently he filed for bankruptcy in an attempt to sort of, put a veil over how much money he actually has, which we'll get to in a later video because there is actually a video on this same channel. This is called the Law and Crime Network. They cover like famous trials and shit like that, and contemporary trials that are going on right now that are high profile. But on a separate video on this channel, there is a economist that is a witness that takes the stand and actually reveals how much Alex Jones is making and how much money he actually has.
You believe everything you say is true, but it isn't. Your beliefs do not make something true.
I believe you said that. That's all that's true.
And then slow.
No, I'm slow. I'll be honest with you here. You said you said.
You're not talking to me. You're not doing this. Well, that's not even cough. That's not the way this goes.
We're shit my hand.
So Alex Jones, if you didn't hear that, Alex Jones literally said, like one of these, first of all, he's literally calling the attorney autistic, which is, that's just low. That's lowbrow shit. Like, you don't do that. And unless they're actually, well, even if they were, why would you say that? It's just like you're shooting yourself in the foot more and more, as you might be guilty of contempt of court as well as perjury, because Alex Jones lied under oath in court saying that he did not have any texts about Sandy Hook or any texts saying that Sandy Hook was bullshit or it's Sandy Hook all over again. One of these texts came up. He said he had no texts on his phone, but his attorney screwed up, apparently, sent the phone over to the prosecuting attorney saying, oh, there's no evidence on the phone. We checked, we sent it. He's not lying under oath, even though Alex Jones probably knew there was shit on his phone about Sandy Hook. But then the prosecutors revealed it to everybody that he did have stuff about Sandy Hook on his phone. And then asked Alex Jones what perjury is, which is a crime. Perjury is not just a minor crime. It is depending on the case, it could be a serious felony with significant fines and prison time. So Alex Jones is already fucked for defamation. He's got to pay He's paying $4 million now to these families. And in addition, he might even have like a perjury charge for lying to the court under oath. And he might have a contempt of court charge because of what happens next.
Why, you can't freedom take videos anymore? Shut your mouth. That's what you're trying to shut on. Now you'll never succeed.
Oh boy. Joining
And then he says to the attorney, like, after the attorney tells him to shut his mouth because he's saying shit, that's provocative, Alex is like, why don't you make me? Which implies that you want the attorney to fight you. Like, you want to come and fight. Like, you want the smoke. Alex is such a fucking child. Oh my God. He just does not know how to handle himself civilly in any sort of environment whatsoever. He is the foaming at the mouth demagogue who thinks he's so important. But at the end of the day, he has to get back into reality. And this is what reality is, Alex. Sorry. You're now having to face the consequences of your actions. And this isn't a whole thing about free speech. I'm a free speech absolutist. This is about lying about somebody, lying about parents, lying about somebody's character. He actually lied about the jury, too. He lied and said that he lied about the character of the jury, said they were in their own bubbles. They were picked to convict him. When you're lying about the jury, you make some shit up about the jury is going to be like, what the fuck? You just made that up about us. What? And that's going to be like, well, is he making everything else up then? You're kind of like, Alex, you are such a fucking moron. Like,
Joining us today, co-host Terry Austin and trial attorney Bernarda Villalona. It's great to have you both here. Bernarda, I'll start with you. The judge said that Jones wasn't telling the truth under oath. Big no-no. So could he be held in contempt of court?
Jesse, Alex Jones, can I say, liar, liar, pants on fire. But unfortunately, as you can see, Judge Gamble is not playing with either party, but especially with Alex Jones. Now, will there be charges in terms of contempt of court? I highly doubt it. If anything, if the judge were to believe that Alex Jones is lying, you would need a district.
Contempt of court charges are still serious, although not as serious. They're more like misdemeanor charges. Like, perjury is a goddamn felony. Lying under oath is serious. Like,
Attorney's office to be willing to prosecute him on perjury charges. But in terms of contempt charges, I don't see it for lying under oath. However, the attorney can be held responsible in terms of contempt of court if they're not following with the demands or the requests that were made. So, for example, Judge Gamble said, look, you cannot say that you complied with discovery, obviously, because it did not happen.
Right.
So if that were to happen in terms of the attorney saying that the judge can hold the attorney in terms of contempt, but I don't see that with Alex Jones yet. But you never know what's going to happen.
So, Terry, during Jones's cross-examination, the plaintiff's counsel asked if he was aware that his attorney accidentally sent all of his text messages to him. How do you think that's going to affect the case?
Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first practice to deceive. It will affect the case. The jury heard all of that. Jones claimed that he didn't have any text. He said he looked through.
Yeah, he claimed that there was no text on his phone, but there were texts on his phone, and the whole entire court saw that shit. The jury, the judge, the prosecuting attorneys, the defense attorneys were like, oh, fucking shit. Oh, wait, shit. Oh, God. This is like the worst moment in my career. That's what the defense attorney's reaction was probably. And then Alex is just shitting his pants here. Probably the room probably smells like shit right now.
All of his text, there was nothing on saying he spoke on the shooting or anything.
Right.
He basically said at his deposition that I have nothing to give you. As it turns out, his own attorney accidentally sent it to the plaintiff's attorney. And frankly, all of the jury is going to get to see that and hear that. So I think it's something that's going to hurt his case.
Yeah, Alex Jones maybe not being that truthful. That's something that the jury's going to have to consider. All right.
It's not that he's just being untruthful, though. He's being untruthful in a very fucking idiotic and stupid way. Like, most people can, like, literal 5-year-olds can tell he's lying. Like, this isn't like some case where you're, like, subtly lying about something, and it's just and the judge just happened to figure it out. No, Alex Jones is 100% capping. He is 100% on that bullshit, high key cap. And everybody sees it. Everybody smells the bullshit.
Following it, but we want to head north right now to Illinois, where the man accused of committing the Highland Park mass
Okay, so I think that was it about Alex Jones on this video.
Just last week, the suspect was indicted on 117.
So Cremo's actually still alive. Huh, that's interesting. And then this attorney actually revealed, after Alex claimed he filed for bankruptcy, does not mean he's bankrupt, by the way. And The Economist revealed how much he is actually worth.
Come have a seat here in the witness chair. You'll see there are cups and a water pitcher in case you are thirsty, and a microphone. I will ask you to make sure we can hear you. And I see you have a lot of notes in front of you, and the way it works is you can have them here, you just can't look at them until and unless one of the lawyers or myself directs you to do so. Sure. All right. Also, remember to completely listen to the questions. Let the lawyers finish asking the question, answer the question you're asked. Don't talk over one another. That makes it very hard on my court reporter. And also answer out loud and in words.
A master's degree in economics, MBA at Loyola.
So this guy is accredited economist. Like, he has the degrees, he's got the university accreditation, he's got everything. He's got the cred. So he's going to tell you at some point in this video how much Alex Jones is actually worth.
In 1971, I trained Alex. I finished that in 1977. American AEEFE, which is American Economic and Financial Association. Yes, sir.
What did you do?
You know, I tried my best to look at the way we could position Alex Jones companies that would fit a standard industrial classification code. There are 600 codes, but when you drill down and try to figure out where does Alex Jones fit in this, with all the things he sells and all the ways he makes money, it's not possible. We could call him a health food store because he does vitamins and nutraceuticals and makes money on a lot of products. But we can't really put a finger on what he does for a living, what he actually makes his money doing. I want to mention one more thing. I believe that Alex Jones was a revolutionary. I think he was a maverick. He was like, almost like Genghis Khan. You know, he went into the internet when nobody was there. He was 17 years old when he sat down and had a talk with his dad, with his old man. And I can imagine that talk. His dad's a successful dentist, and he wants to become a radio star anyway. But that must have been a tough talk. So his dad helped him. In fact, his dad took out the first ad on his radio show. So his dad was 100% behind him. And believe me, Alex Jones is as much of a maverick as he is much of a outsider that he is. He is a very successful man. He promulgated some hate speech and some misinformation, but he made a lot of money and he monetized that. My thinking about him was he didn't ride a wave.
Yep, Alex, that's a great guy right there. Spreaded some misinformation, maybe, fostered some hate speech, made money off of that. Yeah, great guy, great motherfucking guy. Jesus.
He created the wave, and he has now 3.5 million clicks.
By the way, a revolutionary to an economist. And by the way, Alex Jones is a reactionary, not a revolutionary. He is a anti-government reactionary. And he is a reactionary because of his paleoconservative views. So, but a revolutionary to an economist is anybody who does something new in the fucking, business market. That's not revolutionary, okay? Even if Alex Jones was, on the internet in some of the earliest fucking days doing this shit, it's not like he was the first one to do this shit. He was not first in anything, so I don't know what this economist is talking about. But these are the way, but what he is right about is just, the facts he's talking about. Alex cannot be nailed down to one industry segment. He's a radio host. He's a YouTube host. He sells products such as vitamins and health food and whatnot, as he just mentioned. What is he? Can he be nailed down to a specific economic sector? Maybe he's an entrepreneur. Who knows? But this is basically the kind of the lowdown this economist is giving us.
He has 100 radio stations. He is a very successful guy.
Billion clicks, right?
Correct. No question about it.
I want to talk to you about some of the companies he has. More than just free speech systems, right?
Right.
You
I was about to reach for the date when he incorporated, but I know what it was. I know the date.
Do you know?
And chiseled those free speech systems. LLC, InfoWars LLC, Prison Planet. I'm going too fast. I'm sorry. Prison Planet TV LLC, Planet InfoWars LLC, InfoWars Health. These are the products he sells. PLJR Holdings, and we'll discuss that, I'm sure, in a minute. And AEJ Austin Holdings LLC. He also, I'm sorry.
Yeah, PGR.
No, PR.
PQPR.
Sorry?
Are you familiar with PQPR?
Yes, I was just going to talk about that.
Okay.
PQPR is one of the holding companies that works in conjunction with Free Speech Systems and InfoWars to sell products, to host these shows, to do a lot of the front work that Alex Jones makes his profits from.
Are you familiar with the term shell company?
Shell company?
Yes.
Sure. Yes, sir.
What's a shell company?
Technically, shell company is a U.S. corporation that sets up shop in one of the islands, to prevent taxation or set up affiliates that the main.
Mr. Pettigo, you understand all that stuff was ordered by the court to be produced, right?
You're on. You understand? So I've asked you for it over the last few weeks, counsel, and none of that was produced.
Right.
Notes that were signed in 20 years to come. He set up these two, quote, loans, so to speak. One for 29-bit Alex Jones for years and years to come. He set in
I also object to this line of question.
Bit Alex Jones for years and years to come. He set up these two, quote, 15-year period with variably, and to pay back the first loan, which was a 30-year loan, intermittently over time, which rate of 11 in this note. This didn't continue to pay that. So, but they didn't keep this up. This started back in 2021, but they didn't continue to pay that.
Where does it say how much money he's worth? Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. He's haunted. So basically, we didn't even have to watch this video. I'm sorry, guys. He just made $61.9 million from all these accounts that he holds. $61.9 million. And you're bankrupt? I don't think so. No fucking way. And that's just how much you were withdrawn. That's just how much was withdrawn in 2021. That's how much he makes. How much is he worth? If that's how much, that's how much he made in 1 year. $61.9 million. 1 year. That is fucking insanely high. For the kind of work he does, for the kind of popularity he's at. I guess he's popular with some of the really like QAnon conservative groups. So that's probably where he's getting all that money from. But he's getting all that money because he's selling his vitamins, his products, his show. He's got his show company who sets up everything for him. That's pretty, he's got overall, I think 6 different holdings. That's fucking insane. So no, Alex, you are not fucking bankrupt. Not even close. He lied about that. He lied about this, all under oath in court. He lied about it before the defamation suits came up. And as you can see, the jury awarded more than $4 million to the Sandy Hook family in Alex Jones' defamation trial. Now, $4 million fucking dollars to Alex Jones, who just made $61.9 million in 1 year. I'm pretty sure that's manageable for you. I think. So I'm pretty sure that's manageable for him. But he could also be facing perjury charges and possibly even contempt of court, just based on the actions that he made after the trial was over. Just absolutely batshit crazy and an idiot. This has been Rational Reaction, Rational Vids. Like and subscribe if you like this video.